Hello and welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Dark Walker, and outside of my usual complaints about scheduling, today is going to be the last episode of the Earth element for our signature Arcana Spotlight series. So, real quick. And we got Player's Choice. Well, you know what I'm picking. And no, I don't always pick the classic soundtrack, but it is the soundtrack that I do like the most. I've already explained that multiple times. I don't feel like I need to do it again. So obviously we are ending the Earth element with Tectonic Drill. Tectonic Drill is one of those kind of tricky, slightly harder to use ones. But first, let's show you what it looks like without any big damage bonuses, because I want to make sure I'm giving you accurate information, and of course I'll be doing that when the tier list comes out as well, so nothing too out of the ordinary here. Here, this one. Alright, so Tectonic Drill, when it's enhanced, comes out in 2 dashes. The first one is just kind of like how it functions more or less normally. And then the second dash, which actually does more damage, and as you've been seeing me do, can be redirected. So you can start going in one direction, and then accidentally look at your trophies, and then go in a different direction. But yes, this is definitely one of the best non-jump movement options out there. It really scores a lot of hits. It does a great amount of damage, and as you can see, it counts as both movement and not projectile and melee. So I like to use this with the Awe Robe and get ourselves a little bit of Dark Katana action going. As you can see, outside of accidentally looking at our trophies, we are scoring a lot of critical hits with this. And that's just perfect. So now... Alright, so the other thing is, this has a long dash distance. So we don't necessarily need a lot of setup, because this will just get us in and do what we need to do. So you could use this to play as like a combo ender, which I like to do with my ultra combo setup. And I could just play that again, but I don't know, I feel like that might be getting a little repetitive. So I'll wait with ultra combo for a little bit. I think what we will do is sort of a high movement melee sort of thing. So we're going to take Cascading Blitz. And for our dash, we actually want something that's either going to distract enemies or just keep them off of our butts while we perform our high movement. Although when you're talking about high movement, Volt Tracer is also really good. Now, there just aren't a lot of melee options when it comes to Dash Arcana. Like, there are 2. One of them does basically no damage. And the other one is Air Burst, which, yeah, it's completely fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just sometimes when you want to get that damage out, you put yourself in danger using Air Burst that you wouldn't using something else. But it is a good high damage option, so I guess the question is, do you want to do that? Do you want something that offers a bit more protection? Are you looking for something to just trap enemies with? There really is no wrong answer. I think for my purposes, I am going to go with the high damage option. And then we're going to use our basic for something a bit more protective. I think in this case, what I would like to bring in with me is either air spinner or bolt rail. The reasons are simple. We've got a nice controlling long-range rail to keep enemies at arm's length, and it's fast. We have enough movement that I'm not worried about 360-degree protection. So yeah, that's going to be our build, and of course the focus is Tectonic Drill, our lovely little bad boy power tool. And why is it that the Earth element has so many power tools as spells? We got rock and roll, we got big ol' hammers. I guess that's not a power tool, but you get the point. We got the drill. I guess for some reason, power tools and the Earth element go hand in hand. Dark Sage, that doesn't make any sense. Well, neither does this design choice, but I'm here for it. So I want to start off our, well, trying to get our run started by saying that I do appreciate you guys tuning in and checking out my stuff. It does mean the world to me, and I just very much enjoy doing this. Like, I'm not sure, like, I haven't said this recently, so for those of you who are new, or for those of you who may have forgotten, this is not only a creative outlet for me, and it gives me a chance to just talk about things, but I also really, like, it really is just a mental health thing for me as well. It just makes me feel better. I know that sounds strange, but trust me, it's a thing. So I want to make sure that you guys understand that I do appreciate your tuning into my videos. It means the world to me, not just because I enjoy doing it, but because it actually makes me feel a little bit better in life. Like, I enjoy doing this, and I enjoy that you enjoy it. Alright, so anyways, getting on with the show here. As you can see, the whole idea of this build is just using our movement options to kind of dart around the battlefield. With the drill being the heaviest hitting one. And because that second dash actually does 10 damage, this wouldn't be a bad option to use with a power build either. Because remember, you are looking for spells that do at least 10 damage at some portion in order to really make those damage adds stack up. I can talk, I swear. Now, of course, we all know that when you're using the Awe robe, getting that robe upgrade is Alright, so on to the point of Tectonic Drill. You will very frequently see me using this spell and in such a way that I'm darting in one direction and then another. Oh, you know what? I was thinking I was going to wait on that because I hadn't seen the red portal yet, but I had seen the red portal, so I don't know what I'm talking about. The two big reasons are, of course, redirecting yourself and making it harder for enemies to hit you. But also, sometimes you just need to redirect in order to have the maximal effect on the battlefield. Now, this is not one of those times. That was just straight line damage through and through. because of the high amount of damage you're outputting, it's not going to be uncommon to get signature cast pretty frequently with this particular build. But even if you don't do it exactly the way that I did it, and I don't expect you to, because there's lots of options that you could use. Ooh, another option that would be really good that I kind of glossed over would be Vortex Veil. That would be great to put on and just use that to run into enemies. Like, the one downside there is that Vortex Veil has a bit more knockback than you really want for a good combo. And that just does massive, massive damage. It's not all in one hit, of course, but that's what makes it so good with a critical hit setup, is that you're getting a lot of hits that are potentially being boosted by your critical hit chance. Alright, that, as you can see there, that was... Alright, there were a lot of mistakes made there. Alright, for some reason I thought they would get dragged along with me, so that was a mistake. Oh, okay. Sorry, those little dryads piss me off so much. Okay, everything is going wrong. Ooh, we've got 3 things here that I wouldn't mind taking. Alright, so before I make a decision, I think I want to see what's in the other shops first. So hey, Dark Sage, you're not playing it to your usual caliber. Why are you getting beat up so much? Well, one of the things that you have to understand with a build like this, where you're dashing around a lot, is that sometimes you just end up putting yourself in a really awkward position trying to dash around and either find the right spot, or just... or just putting yourself in harm's way because you are just using a lot of movement options. So that's what you were seeing, is what happens when you end up in a bad position. Sometimes you just end up getting clobbered. Also, Airburst has this really, like, not so fortunate quality about it. There's Vortex Veil, I'll probably end up grabbing that. But it has this unfortunate quality about it where it sometimes just drags enemies right along with you. And sometimes that means the enemies are just placed right alongside you when you don't want them to be. And that's why I'm thinking Vortex Veil is a good idea, because that's something that you don't necessarily have to use it in conjunction with Tectonic Drill. Matter of fact, probably the better idea would be to use it after Tectonic Drill so that you don't end up taking a bunch of counterattack damage. Okay, we'll grab this. And we'll grab that. And we'll grab that. Okay, so I think I've made my decision now. I think I'm just going to grab the luxury handbag. See what I mean about how it knocks enemies out of your range? So don't, with a build like this, with, you know, dashing combos and Tectonic Drill, you don't want enemies getting knocked out of your combos. So instead, what you want to do is use it after you've dashed around for a bit as a means to cover your butt. My turn. Also, full disclosure, it is early afternoon, so the birds are hyper and looking for attention. That's why you're hearing them so much in the background. See what I mean? Giga Drill. Okay, so we can definitely donate something to the good doctor when we get the chains. But that's also because you have a good chance of ending up in a position you didn't want to end up in. That is also why I have the Blades of Sympathy. I figured since there is a good chance that we'll be getting dinged like either by accident or just because of our positioning ending up kind of not so great, that would be a good thing to grab. Nothing here is really standing out to me at the moment. It's also because this build scores a lot of hits all at once, so there's a good chance that when Blades of Sympathy is active, it'll just be like a quick top off. It's a good way to keep our health high while we're adventuring. Like, it'll only be so-so against bosses, but just out in the landscape, definitely worthwhile. And that's a good example of why I don't necessarily like having Vortex Veil paired with Tectonic Drill, but if you are looking for something to pair with a movement option so you can just dart around and really tick off your opponent's health that way, I would recommend Cardus Prime. Lovely. Curse you! And there you go. You just saw his whole health bar just kind of melt away there. Yeah, this arcana just drains enemy health meters. And it just does so quickly. Like, I know I called Obsidian Cascade the boss eraser, but honestly, this one can do the same job. It's just a little bit more dangerous because it's a melee option. But if I were to rank them, and of course that is part of why I'm doing this, is because I'm going to be ranking them. I think, honestly, they probably deserve a very similar rating. Like, they're both very powerful options. Though I think I would rank Tectonic Drill a little higher at the very least. Because even though their signature casts get about the same job done, there's no denying that being able to dart around like a squirrel monkey on crack is a benefit that is hard to replicate when you're just throwing knives. Yeah, but Dark Sage, throwing knives keeps you safer at a longer distance. That's true. Maybe they do deserve about a similar rating. But I will leave that for you guys to discuss. I want to see if Nocturne gives us a really good option for either this boss or the next one. Not really. I do think that'll be good for right now. Other options, not so great. Oh yes, the drill is all-encompassing. Alright, so now about my only real complaint about the build in general is that we have yet to upgrade Bolt Rail. But I think whether or not that's a good idea will also depend on whether or not I find another upgraded basic that works a little bit better with the build. Alright, anything good here? Yes, there's this. That is definitely good here. And so is getting a second shot at seeing Dr. Song, because we would love to see that critical placebo show up. Eh, we don't need the key. Yes, 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 Mr. Wind in your sails. Shocking! There we go. Not bad. Shields definitely helped. It's a little too slow. By the way, in case you're wondering what the thump is, one of my birds has been trying for a long time to figure out how to get her door to stay open, but just can't seem to figure it out. She's trying. Little puzzle solver that she is. Oh, there's finally the bolt rail upgrade. And hopefully now you see what I mean when I say that sometimes this can just put you in a bad position. Fortunately, that is one of the reasons why we wanted to see Dr. Song. Unfortunately, no critical placebo, but it's definitely worth a shot. I also think this would be better than Arc Sphere, even though I like Arc Sphere. I also have to admit that it's not the greatest choice to use electric attacks against electric enemies. I'm tempted to grab Blazing Lariat just because it's so good. I'll probably like it better than Arc Sphere when I swing. Well, hold on. Is it worth switching back to now? Or switching to now, I should say. Yeah, there's nothing here. Wait, yes there is. It's hard to get a better defensive option than that. Unless you happen to be Kasim's Airy Cloak, in which case you might be on the same level. That was not smart. Yeah, that was hubris kicking in. Yeah, 385 damage. Oh yeah, I definitely got my butt kicked. It doesn't look like you took that much damage. Yeah, that's because of Blades of Sympathy. Well, Blades of Sympathy and well-timed shielding. Oh, that is very high tier. Alright, now up here we can upgrade our Blazing Lariat, and we will definitely use that over the sword, just because I know electric enemies are resistant to water. Which seems odd, but, I mean, they had to do something. Alright, got anything good for us? I mean, I was really hoping for... What is this? What lowers critical hit chance? I don't think so. I don't have that many things even raising critical hit chance, to be honest. Honestly, best thing we could pick up here would be Glass Cannon, and considering how things have been working out and, you know, the kind of unfortunate amounts of damage I've been taking, that might not be a good idea. And yes, Blades of Sympathy is getting work done, don't get me wrong, but... that doesn't mean that I want to go lower on my maximum health, and one of the big reasons is because of the Elixir of Might. See, if my maximum health dips lower, then that means that taking more damage would result in losing more damage on my behalf. I don't want to lose more damage. Yeah, but Dark Sage, you're getting 20% because of the cannon. It is an interesting point, and one that I honestly hadn't considered. That yes, I am actually getting more damage from the cannon than I'd probably be losing to the elixir. What the hell. Talked myself into it. Strangely, I'm not getting a lot of good opportunities to get a thumbnail for. There we go. To get a thumbnail for this video, like all the really interesting Tectonic Drill opportunities that I've had to showcase the signature have come at really odd times. That was about the best opportunity I had. I didn't even land the attack. Oh, man. Alright, just because I like the Hunter's Satchel. Plus, nothing else here is really going to be that useful against Sura anyway, so... So now we on to the final fight. And yes, there is a reason why I haven't been saying too much about the drill. It's because, honestly, its strength and usefulness seem pretty self-explanatory. The biggest hint I can offer you about its use is, hey, did you know that you can dart in a different direction after the first dash? Like, yeah, that's about all I've really got. And watch that health bar melt. Oh, baby. And there we go. Alright, well, we learned two things there. One, Tectonic Drill is a super powerhouse. And two, I have a thumbnail shot. So we are all set to go on that end. And that wraps up the Earth element of the Signature Arcana Spotlight series. I hope you've been enjoying things so far, and yes, I do very much have things in the works for Part 3, which is of course the air element. And immediately after that, I can get working on Part 4, and I can start working on electricity, so everything is in order. So once again, I want to thank you guys for tuning in and just enjoying what I have to put out there. I, of course, am very, very receptive to your commentary, your ideas, your thoughts. I, of course, am happy to take build requests. I've done just about all of them that have come my way so far, so if you have any ideas, feel free to shoot them my way. But, as I said, next up will be the beginning of the electricity elements, or lightning, if you want to be technical about it. And, of course, the tier list for air and earth. So I hope you guys have been enjoying. I, of course, am very appreciative of you spending your free time here with me today. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and you take care, everybody.